2, 1. Hello everybody, this is Renegade Rousey, and this is the Left Hook Boxing Show. It has been a while since I've been with you, and it is good to be back. And I'm procrastinating putting out this video. We're less than 24 hours before the fight, and are you excited about it? I know I am. Who you picking? That's the theme of this fight. And I think on ESPN right now, the latest I checked is like 52% for Mayweather, 48% for Mosley, so it's pretty close. We'll see what happens, and I'll get to the my pick later. But first of all, I just want to talk about these fighters. Now, Floyd Mayweather, man, this dude is provocative. I'm telling you what, you watch the 24/7, and he is a showman. He definitely does the kind of things that draws interest to the fight. And when he said that, hey, yeah, I'm better than Muhammad Ali, yeah, I'm better than Sugar Ray Robinson, I about fell out of my chair. I mean, you know, those kind of things are open for debate. But very seldom will you see a fighter stand up and make a statement like that. Yeah, I'm better than Muhammad Ali. Muhammad Ali, of course, is revered worldwide as a great boxer. And, you know, hey, you know, that's the kind of thing they look at later down the line. But for a boxer to actually come out and say, I'm better than Muhammad Ali, that's the kind of thing that he does to draw the attention to his fights. And with Floyd Mayweather, you got a lot of people that like him, and you got a lot of people that just can't stand him and want to see him shut up. Well, all those people come together and shell out the 50, 60 bucks to watch the pay-per-view, and that's what makes him an attraction. And he's been successful to this point, undefeated. You can't argue with that. And whatever you think about him, a great boxer, great defensive skills. You know, the thing that gets me about him a lot of times is sometimes he'll be unorthodox. He'll do things that other boxers don't. And sometimes he'll have like one of his hands up here and one covering his ribs and basically exposing his face. But if you watch Floyd Mayweather and if you see these super slow-mo things of his fights, a lot of times he may get hit, but he has the ability to move his body so he deflects the blow. I mean, when he got finished with that Marquez fight, he didn't have a blemish on him. And a couple times it looks like he was getting in some pretty good scuffles, but if you looked at it super slow, he was dodging them, blocking them, and rolling with the punches so that he wasn't taking a big impact. And he looked like he just jumped out of the shower after that fight. I mean, it was a tremendous performance. I know Marquez was the smaller man, and a lot of people think that he should never been in the ring with Marquez, but be that as it may, Marquez still a great fighter, and for him to walk out and dominate like he did was a great performance. And so great defensive fighter, also great accuracy with the punches. You know, he reminds me of like a great baseball player hitter, you know, that hits for a high average. The great hand-eye coordination. When he sees what he wants to hit, it's like a baseball player seeing that ball. If it's a curveball, fastball, wherever it is, he gets those hands and moves it to hit that ball. And in boxing, instead of a ball, it's somebody's head, pounded on somebody's head. And Mayweather has that ability, high accuracy in his punches, and I think that's going to be something Mosley's going to have to really watch out for, because if he gets in there, Mayweather gets in there and starts racking up the points, I think it's going to be a long night for Mosley. But now let's just go into Mosley. I mean, I really admire Mosley. I like Mosley. He's my kind of guy. Humble but ferocious when he gets in the ring. He is nothing but business. And when he goes in there, he wants to give the fans the show that they're looking for. I remember a few fights ago when he fought Ricardo Mayorga. And, you know, that was a tough fight for him because Mayorga was being so, I mean, he's like a bully in there, just kind of throwing real unorthodox. And Mosley was really having to work it. And he scored that knockout in that fight, if you remember that fight, with a left hook with like 1 second left. Very seldom will you see when they say not saved by the bell. Well, Mayorga was not saved by the bell because Mosley put him to the deck with 1 second left on the clock, and he ended up winning that by knockout. And even though it was a tough fight for him, he persevered, and you could tell in that last round, man, he wanted the knockout. He knew that's what the fans wanted, and he gave it to him. And, you know, the other thing, Mosley's just so strong, man. Who would have thought when we saw him fight Margarito that he would have put Margarito down? I mean, you might have thought he wins a decision, but nobody would have thought, I wouldn't have thought Margarito would go down for anybody. I mean, you know, you saw him against Cotto. Cotto was landing some good shots on Margarito, and I know the glove thing, but that ain't protecting your face when you're getting hit. It's about hitting. And, you know, Cotto was delivering some good shots to him, but Margarito just kept going forward, but not with Mosley. I mean, Mosley teed off on him. And the other final thing I like about Mosley is that killer instinct, man. When he smells blood, when he gets somebody, he don't play around. I mean, just, you can see it. It's like a tiger that's got a wounded prey. He goes after him to finish the deal. Now, real quick, just talking about this fight, I'm picking Mosley. I'm picking him. He's my guy. I don't say that with a lot of conviction like I'm so totally positive, but I believe that he can do it. And I think the key for Mosley, he's got to have a good start, at least a mediocre start. He's got to win a few of those rounds early, because if Mayweather starts racking up those rounds and he's able to just kind of coast through to the win and keep his distance from Mosley, I think it's going to be a long night for Mosley. But if Mosley can win a few of those first rounds and put doubt in Mayweather's mind whether or not he's got the victory or not, and say rounds 9 through 12, those are the money rounds, and we will see, I think, what Money Mayweather is made of. And, you know, I get cracked up when, again, on that 24/7 when Mayweather says, Mosley says that I fight for the money. Well, duh, I'm a prize fighter. But I still remember this one comment, and I mentioned this in one of my other videos, about George Foreman when he was one of the commentators on the Arturo Gatti and Mickey Ward fight. I think it was the second fight. And these guys are in the ring just, whoa, I mean, not just standing still and just waylaying at each other, seeing who would be the toughest guy, who would be king of the mountain. And George Foreman made this comment. He said, hey, you don't fight like that for money. You fight like that for pride, and you fight like that for your family because your name is Mosley or your name is Mayweather. And Mayweather talks a lot about the money, but I think that 0 really means a lot to him. The undefeated record, I think the belts don't mean anything to him. The money does, and I think his legacy, that 0, the thought that he's the greatest fighter to ever live, that I think means something to him to try to make a statement. So if this fight is close, and I hope it is, when we go, hopefully we'll get there. Hope some headbutt or something doesn't throw this thing off and screw this fight up, or some weird knockout. But if we're close, rounds 9, 10, 11, 12, I think that's when Mayweather, you see him say, hey, I'm going to have to really get aggressive and win this fight. And then that plays into what we want to see, an all-out war, and let's hope we see it. I'm looking forward to it, and I hope it comes out like that way. I'm picking Mosley. We'll see what happens. I'll see you after the fight. For now, this is Renegade Rousey.